That's amazing and just a testament to how hardworking Borislav Slavov, the composer of the game, is. Baldur's Gate 3 has been getting high praises all around, and the music is no exception. So let's listen to some of them. And if you're looking for your favorite songs, check out parts 1 and part 2 of this reaction series. The Power orchestral version. Let's go. Okay, classical guitar and orchestral writing. This music is speaking directly to me. Oh my god, this is so underrated, but vocal humming to supply the melody without lyric is so underrated in melodic writing. The human voice is such a powerful instrument, whether you have lyric or not. It will always stand out. And most of the time I would hear songs would always feature lyrics, and that's not a bad thing. Because, you know, that's human nature. We always like to sing and speak our mind. And that is usually represented by lyrics. But humming? Lots of humming already in the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack that I've heard of so far, especially in the Harpy song. This is actually reminding me of the Harpy song. Mellow humming with strings. Oh my god, did you hear that? Flute melody and then clarinet. It's a conversation between two woodwind instruments. Vocals, flute, clarinet. They're talking to each other in music. They're having a conversation. I love that. Down by the River motif, played by the oboe. What we just heard is a conversation between the flute and the sopranos. sounds so majestic and powerful. Hey, that's the name of the song. The Power. This song is written in one of my favorite time signatures, 6/8, because 6/8 is usually used for the danceable type of music, the dancey type of music, like Irish jigs, for example. And you can hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ta, 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 ta. Even if it's mostly written for long-sounding instruments like the strings, long humming, you can feel the movement of the rhythm because of that harp. No, 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 no. The harp is carrying the rhythm. If you listen, there's very minimal percussion. There's very minimal percussive instruments that usually drive the rhythm of a song. But because of this, because of the use of the 6/8 meter and the subtle melodies, the subtle rhythms of the harp, it is moving forward like some sort of subtle march. I can almost imagine this is like a graduation song or like an awards ceremony. The king is like awarding trophies or medals or bags of gold to a band of warriors standing in front of him or something like that. The Power choral version. Interesting. Okay, wow. The orchestral version had the baritones and the basses and the tenors carry the melody. This time, I think for the choral version, the sopranos will be doing the carrying. Motif. Wow, what a thick, luscious chord right there. Okay, wow. First, let's talk about the Down by the River leitmotif. One of the indicators of a really good, effective leitmotif, a leitmotif is a melody that is sprinkled throughout the soundtrack of a game or a film. In this particular case, the leitmotif generously being used all around the game is the Down by the River leitmotif. And one of the indicators of a really good leitmotif is if it can be easily inserted in any of the other pieces. John Williams, the composer of Star Wars and Jaws and all the other iconic movie soundtracks, is a master of the leitmotif. The Down by the River leitmotif is one of those simple enough to be easily inserted in other pieces, but still easily recognizable. So that is brilliant leitmotif writing. Second of all, when I saw in the soundtrack list that there's the power orchestral version and the power choral version, what I was actually expecting is that the choral version will just add vocals on top of the orchestral version. But no, it's a completely standalone arrangement. That's amazing and just a testament to how hardworking Borislav Slavov, the composer of the game, is. Because in my experience, I have seen some other soundtracks who would say version 1, version 2, with vocals or something like that. And version 2 with vocals is simply just version 1 plus vocals. So it's like a backing track plus complete track. And I've seen that so many times that it has skewed my judgment a little bit. And I was expecting that to happen here in Baldur's Gate 3. But no. It is two standalone compositions on its own, which is brilliant. Nine blades. This definitely sounds like a battle theme. Okay, yes, definitely battle theme. Again, drums and low growling vocals. It's becoming a signature of Baldur's Gate 3, and I love it. Wow, here we go again with a slightly detuned lute. This definitely sounds like a baglama or a saz, a Turkish lute. But again, the composer has found a nice, unique formula for the battle themes so far from what I've heard, which is low growling vocals, heavy war drums, and a detuned lute. It's definitely a unique mix of timbres. there's a lot to break down from this particular piece. Wow. Okay. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Interesting choice of meter, but using that kind of complex meter will always add some sort of uncomfortable feeling with the rhythm. But wow, okay, this is a great example of a perfect marriage of folk medieval and Western orchestral elements. And I like that this particular composition, this particular arrangement, even though it is definitely evoking battle music, it's not all high level of intensity all the time. And then I love the balance of Western orchestral elements represented by those bombastic brass sections, the French horns, the growling. You can hear the growling texture of the brass section, especially in the middle part. I love that it started almost like a traditional bard battle music with those low vocals, especially the lute playing mostly dronic parts where it's just staying in one tonal center. And then, of course, eventually, once the orchestral brasses slowly are swelling in until it's all about them. And then back to the choir, the growling, grunting vocals, but lo and behold, suddenly soprano solo, thus adding a mellow, emotional moment to the battle. Because, if you've watched enough battle scenes in movies, for example, like Lord of the Rings or Gladiator, it's good musical storytelling if you change the intensity from time to time. For example, there's always going to be a scene where the hero is shown in close-up and then the music slows down. Maybe there's like a soprano solo, ethereal sounding, and then suddenly cut to the clanging swords and all that, back to intense music. There's always that artistic, emotional changes that happens all throughout. And I think this particular music, Nine Blades, definitely represents the good side of that compositional writing. This is called I Want to Live, and I was told this is the ending credit song. By the way, I'm going to be playing the game. This is definitely my type of game, and I've done a good job avoiding major spoilers as I went along. But I decided I want to produce some music reaction content out of the soundtrack before I lose myself into the game.
Feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death. I didn't know you well back then. I blame it on luck and fate. Your blood like wine, I want it in. Oh darling, get me drunk and make me feel it's not my fault, I'm not to blame. These ain't my sins, I broke my chains. There's more to do and I still want to live.
Okay, first of all, cool use of harp and piano, because there's always going to be moments where, especially when they're played together, there are going to be some blurring moments where the harp and the piano sound is almost indistinguishable from each other, especially if the pianist is playing very softly with no edginess in the sound. And yeah, they're using it well. And I also kind of love the tempo featuring that sort of clock tick-tocking sound. It gives the music a bit of some sort of temporal importance, if that's even the term.
I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death.
Cold as death.
I feel your heart beat in my soul, our futures bound, our bodies know. Your blood like wine, I want it in. Oh darling, get me to blame. These ain't my sins. I broke my chains. There's more to do if I can only leave. I can't go yet. Don't let me die. I'll never stop until I'm done. But just tonight, maybe I'll rest in peace. I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death.
Okay, first off, this definitely sounds like an ending credit song. And most of the time, in some medieval franchises, when it comes to the ending credits music, most of the time I would hear that the music director or the composer would just let go of any restraints and just go on full modern pop sounding song. But for this one, I can appreciate that there's still some sort of restraint being practiced, because although I can recognize this feels almost more like a pop song because of the way they're singing, and the piano is using a bit more of a traditional pop style chord progression, but it's just bordering right between pop and medieval, so they didn't go push it further into pop territory, and I appreciate that.
I hear your heart beat in my soul. Our endings bound, our bodies know. I can't go yet.
Don't let me die.
I want to leave.
My only one. There's more to do if we can only leave.
The clock won't stop, and this is what we get.
Oh wow, that almost felt like classic Disney in a way. But then, now I understand the cool use of the tick-tocking clock sound. I can imagine this song being used to portray a montage of everything you've done in the game leading up to the end, and showing maybe like a montage of photos showing the passage of time, and then time ends, represented by the clock slowing down, by the ending of the tempo slowing down. The clock ends and you've reached the end of time. It's the end.
I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death. I didn't know you well back then. I blame it on luck and me. Your blood like wine, I want it in. Oh darling, get me drunk and make me feel. It's not my fault, I'm not to blame. This ain't my sins, I broke my chains. There's more to do and I still want to
If you're enjoying my content, here's some more for you. Click here.